What's up, guys? It's the Carrie and Jeremy
show, guys.
The question is, what task or what objective have you set out to do that you're like, oh crap, I don't think I can do this, but I got to figure out how to do it? Anything in your past experience that has made that possible for you?
A couple of things come up for me. I remember Jeremy actually invited me to do my first triathlon. And just a little history, when I was about 9 years old, I went to swim lessons in the summer, jumped around in the pool and had so much fun, but I did not learn how to swim. And on test day, they said, jump in the deep and swim to the shallow. And they said they guaranteed they'd be right there on the sidelines with me and they'd follow me the whole thing. And they said they wouldn't let me drown. And I chose to cry and hold on to my mom's leg and squeeze her nice and tight. And guess what, guys? I did not get my swim certificate.
Wow.
That summer, I did not. And that haunted me until Jeremy said, hey, Carrie, you want to do a triathlon? And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to swim. So I said yes and borrowed a mountain bike, and I remember we swam in a pool at Texas State and we zigzagged through the lane. So I thought, we're in a pool, I can make this happen, even if I breaststroke the whole thing, whatever it takes. So I think it was about 400 meters. I was zigzagged through the pool and made it till the end and just got out and was super dizzy. But that moment I thought, I can't do this, because when I was a little kid, I cried and didn't complete my swim test. So with that, I committed to learning how to swim, and I did an Ironman.
There you go. Look at you. I never knew that story. I remember when I did swim lessons when I was a kid, and I was doing my swim lesson, the final, and I literally almost drowned. And someone had to
in your swim lesson?
Oh, in the swim final, the swim thing. Like the final, we were at the racquetball club, and I was swimming. And I guess I didn't make it to the edge.
Wow.
And I almost drowned. I can remember that. That didn't really scar me though.
No. So I was scarred.
It makes me go back to whenever we got our first sublease for our CrossFit gym. I remember we did outdoor park workouts, and we had 100 plus members, but we didn't have to pay rent. And so it was super easy, because you showed up, you trained somebody, and you took the money, and you earned what you got paid, but you didn't have to pay anyone to use the space. And so it was super easy and pretty fearless to be able to do. And then whenever we got our first spot on Burnett Road, 600 square feet, I remember the first month it was $750 to start. I think that was the initiation. I think for if you and me train there, it was $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
And we needed 5 CrossFit clients to pay the first month's rent.
Yeah.
And so it was super scary to sign a lease, because we never had to pay a monthly bill. And all I could think was we needed 5 people. And I remember it was March of 2007. It was March of 2007, and 300 had come out. And some of the University of Texas, there was a group of 3 friends, I think it was 4 friends, that saw 300 and wanted to train like the 300 athletes. But anyways, we got 5 people, and we covered our first month's rent to get that whole business running. But I remember how scary it was to actually sign a lease. And I think it was like a 1-year sublease, with an option for extension. So we were.
But at the same time, just on that, it's funny because didn't you have an apartment you had to pay rent?
Yeah.
So you like do these things that are scary, and here I am making a commitment to pay the apartment complex to live for lease, but then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna pay this other place, so now I'm committing to this more dollar amount. So it's scary. But I think the key for this and what we're saying is, like, what scares you? And does it scare you so much that you just don't do it? Or does it scare you and then you say, how am I gonna do it? How bad do I want it? And here's the key, what are the action steps that are gonna move me to achieving that scary goal or to getting it done? And so I think for myself, there's been scary things out there, but instead of it stopping me and going, well, never mind, I'm not going to do it, I think, what is it going to take for me to get it done? And I move right into it. So remember, action kills fear. You talk about setting the goal, then saying making the plan. Now you can make the plan, but if you don't take action on the plan, you know, of course it's scary. But that first time I jumped into the pool, I went to the Jewish Community Center on Hart Lane in Austin, Texas, and I went and signed myself up for the Master Swim program because I said, if I'm going to learn how to swim for triathlon, I'm going to need to be consistent. I need a coach and someone to tell me how much swimming I need to be doing. So I remember the first few times I parked in the parking lot and left. I parked across the street and stared at the Jewish Community Center and left. And then finally I made myself go.
You actually left?
Left.
Wow.
And then I finally said, you're going, and I went. And I got in the water, and I said, even if you're the slowest one, no one's going to let you drown. Just remember that. You're going to do this. And I did. And, you know, so those small little steps got me to where I did sprint distance triathlon, then I did Olympic distance triathlon, and then I did half Ironman in Ironman. And I just said, this is what I'm doing. And yes, I was extremely scared, but it was just the preparation. So taking action, and then there's just a switch you do. You just flip the switch. That's it. And in that moment, your physiology has to change. You have to do it. You have to, do you see me? Squeeze. You have to take action. That's what it takes. And then you start to re-pattern that neurological pattern of fear, and you take action and you go, I'm just gonna go do it. Just like right now, when it's cold outside, I say, I'm just gonna go outside without, you know, it's 20 degrees warmer than what, if the temperature says it's 57 and you're gonna go for your morning run, it's really not 57, think of it as 77 once your body gets moving. That's pretty warm.
I've never heard that.
So you just go do it. It's like jumping in the cold water. Oh, just go do it. Yeah, now.
I mean, for me, it's those metrics of saying, like, for kind of doing business stuff is measuring, like, what do I need to do to get to this point? What do I need to do to get to this point? Will give me targets. Yeah. I'm really big on targets to get me to go to where I need to be. I like to get other people involved with me, and it pulls
accountability.
It pulls me along. We used to go to Deep Eddy Spring Bed Pool, and we would be there in 90-degree weather, and I would stand on the ledge for 10 minutes looking at the water. And Lisa would, this is before I knew about the autonomic nervous system and how, you know, to get in and how to settle and go. Because there's a couple things, because what you're talking about, like get and go, you're moving to sympathetic, fight or flight, I'm gonna fight this, I'm gonna do it, versus moving to parasympathetic, rest and recover, and then I'm gonna be calm to move into it. So there's different approaches that you can take. Sure. I was standing on the edge of the pool for like 10 minutes and just wait for myself to be mentally prepared to jump into the pool. And that was at least like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe longer, that progressed me to the point now where I got introduced to a technique, breathing, cold exposure, and all that good stuff, and how to kind of prime myself for it and letting go. Yeah, I love getting in because of the results that I get from it. And so whenever we can get the awareness of what the post experience feels like, it carries you through that. But like, I hated cold, but the results are so valuable that it brings me through to the opposite side.
Do we show up for ourselves? But I guarantee when you invite someone, you're going to show up because you invited them, and now you're showing up for yourself, but you're showing up for someone else. So absolutely, there's power in that. That's why we have community, you guys. That's, you know, why we want to do this together, because we know that when we bring someone else into it, there's support, there's accountability. We all have ups and down days, and so if we can pull someone else into it, then we are stronger together, right? What do you want? Let's get clear on that and picture it in your head and close your eyes and play that scenario of you winning and succeeding over and over again. And that's where the true power comes from. And then you step back into that. What do I want? Write it down, make a plan, invite someone in to join you, take action. Awesome, guys. We're grateful for you. Send us your questions.
Do something that scares you.
Let's go.